right, good evening all, and welcome to the October 21st, 2025 Architectural Review Board meeting. Uh, We have a quorum tonight, but we have two members that are not here. So we have one member that is leaving the village, and in speaking to the mayor, the village has come up with a proclamation that I would like to read into the record. It is Andrea Kalusian, who's been a board member. I'll read what it says. Andrea Kalusian is being recognized for her more than 18 years of service to our village Architectural Review Board. And whereas Andrea joined the Village Architectural Review Board in early 2007, now therefore I, Ralph Urban, Mayor of the Village of West Hampton Beach, in conjunction with ARB Chairman Gregory Manassian, on behalf of the trustees and our residents, we wish to extend our sincere thanks to Andrea for her commitment to the Village Architectural Review Board. We wish her success in all her future endeavors. And it's signed by Ralph Urban, Mayor of the Village of West Hampton Beach, and myself, Gregory Manassian, Chairman of the Architectural Review Board. So we want to acknowledge Andrea's service to the village, and we certainly wish her well, and I'll make sure that she gets this proclamation. All right, having said that, we have two board members absent. We have three board members here. You need 3 votes to at least approve or disapprove any application. If you do not want to be heard until we have a full board, you have to tell us before we hear your application. Is there anybody that does not want to be heard tonight? Assuming that you all want to be heard, we'll move ahead. So let's start with Daniela Kahane, is it?
Kahani.
Kahani?
Yeah.
Okay, I stand corrected.
Can I come to the table, or would the board like me to be?
121 Seafield Point. This is for a 2-story, single-family dwelling, 6 bedrooms, 6 baths, and 2 half baths on a pile-supported crawl space with an attached 1 1/2 car garage, a portico, fireplace, partially covered bi-level deck, roof deck balcony, 2 skylights, a pool with a patio, an enclosure fence, a sanitary system, and landscaping per ZBA approval on May 16, 2025. Good evening.
Good evening, Joshua Rosenzweig of Austin Patterson Disson Architects.
Just bear with me a moment, Josh.
Sure.
Okay, tell us about the application, please.
Okay, I'd like to, everybody has this set of 11 by 17, so I'll reference some of these documents as we move through the application. It's a very tight site, as you just read there, Mr. Chairman, that we went in front of the Zoning Board of Appeals because it is a very small site in terms of the overall lot line configuration. And it really was our goal to seek very minimal variances for some side yard property line adjustments. Excuse me. And also becoming a goal for us to choose materials, which we'll get through during this presentation, that sort of quietly let the house settle into the landscape and silver out and disappear a bit, as opposed to creating a sort of contrasting aesthetic to the streetscape. The first page we'll look at is ARB-1, which is really more of a site context plan that just shows the board. Understanding the board's probably all seen the area and is familiar with it quite well, but just to see some of the different vocabularies that grace Seafield Point at the end there. It's going to be a lot different than you see on a corresponding street of Seafield Lane, which we built homes on that street as well, and the board has seen them over the years. This is a little bit more eclectic, right, as you're going down. So I think that as an opening to this overall aesthetic, which my firm likes to treat as what we call agrarian modern, we feel that the overall character of the neighborhood is benefited by this house, but it doesn't create a contrasting aesthetic overall. And you can see that the upper right-hand corner picture is what's currently there today. the existing home had been built upon and renovated for many years, but that is an aesthetic that the clients did enjoy. So as my job, it's to take their overall wishes and help develop it in a little bit more of a refined fashion. And again, following the demands of trying to have it quietly settle into the landscape and not be such a vision or something that's too visible in contrast. Before I move on, does anybody have questions about the pictures of the neighborhood in situ? Okay. I'm going to go to the next sheet, which happens to be, we'll jump right in. We can always reference floor plans after, but this is going to be ARB-2, which is all of the photorealistic renderings that we did of the project. Again, agrarian modern, why do I call it that? I've been calling my homes that I've designed over the years this aesthetic. You could probably relate it to more of a modern barn, but with a more subtle overtone, knowing that we're deriving this aesthetic from agrarian forms while creating a bit of a more contemporary aesthetic. While we're looking at these, before we specifically focus on any one detail, I want to go through the materials a little bit so the board knows what we're looking at. It is a combination of cedar products, okay? Meaning we have cedar shingles, we have yellow cedar siding, we have pressure-treated red cedar. Yes.
If I may, start with the roof so that when you're talking
Sure.
about the cedar, the roof is going to be,
Yeah, I'm going to go through the list, but also I'd love to show the board examples, even though you've seen them all. Let's start with the roof I guess you want to go through this.
yeah.
Okay, so if we start with the roofing materials, we'll talk about pressure-treated red cedar. Now, I'm sure the board is quite familiar with what pressure-treated red cedar is. It will not look like this for long. Hi, how are you?
Hi, good, thank you.
We're just starting to go through this project in terms of the exterior
Thank you.
and its agrarian modern feel.
Great.
And we're going to start going through some of the materials. So the roof is pressure-treated red cedar, which will silver out in time. I would say 60% to 70% of all the roofs in West Hampton Beach are red cedar. These are not taper saws, they're regular perfections. So this is an exact replica of what the butt of the shingle will look like in exposure. I tend to like to have non-taper saws on more agrarian modern roofs because I think they have more of a classical overtone. So that's what this material is right here. It is unbleached. It will completely go silver on its own. Okay, let me put this down, grab something else. The board, I think, is also quite familiar with Alaskan yellow cedar. One of my, not to bore the board, but one of my favorite reasons to use Alaskan yellow cedar is because its job is to go silver as opposed to red that wants to go black. If this were more of a classical house in a shingle style, we may have wanted that, but with the agrarian modern flair comes the idea of having the Alaskan yellow stay a nice silver color. Again, complementing and blending into the landscape and just silvering out. That's the term I'd like to use. So what's the difference? If this is an Alaskan yellow cedar shingle and you leave it untreated, it will go to a silver color similar to this here. However, areas that are under cover and porch will stay yellow for longer periods of time. If you give it 10 years, it might catch up, but it won't be quite uniform. So what we like to do, and we've done many homes like this, a few in West Hampton Beach as well, is we found a product called EnviroBleach. It is not a paint, it is a stain. It is a water-based stain that looks like this on day one. And as it starts to fade off the shingle a little bit, the silver color is already coming out of the cedar when all the tannins bleed out. So this is the color it will look like on day 1000 and day one. It is an EnviroBleach product that was first created by a company that was making pre-dipped white shingles, and it's becoming quite popular because it is such a nice material that does not need to be sanded and repainted every year. You put this on once, that's it. Once the sun starts to attack the shingle, it just amplifies this nice silver tone. Now, I'm going to talk about some other materials as well. It's not just cedar shingle, it's also cedar clapboard. I have a sample of that as well, but all of the siding will be stained to this color. Okay.
And we're calling that light gray?
Yes, that is a light gray putty, but light gray is fair description. Now, the other components of this, and I'll specifically call out an image here, if we all look at that rendering sheet, and we look at, let's see here, let's find it. If we look at garage elevation on the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to see the garage doors and also a few ornamental details underneath the windows looking just like the same color as the cedar shingles, but they're clad with this exact piece, a nice V-groove yellow cedar shingle plank.
Right, but I believe the drawing shows it horizontal.
Yes, I'm sorry, there we go.
Okay.
Sorry. Once again, finished with the same color because it is also yellow cedar with an EnviroBleach finish.
All right, so even though it's two different materials, it's gonna have the same color.
Same material put together differently. It's still Alaskan yellow, comes from the same tree.
You're right.
Let me go down your list and then I'll continue. Boral trim material. Some of the trim material that goes over some of the windows is a material called Boral. It is a fly ash product. You've probably heard of similar materials like AZAC or other synthetic. Those really do help with cost evaluation as opposed to doing all the small details in cedar, but they will be painted to match the exact color of the EnviroBleach. Exterior doors, and what we have here is, this is all going to be clad. All of the windows and doors are going to have a finished color of clear anodized. Here's a sample of that. Could have been a darker color or a bronze or something of that nature, but once again, the main goal is to have everything sort of silver out and just quietly look like it's all from the same palette.
And that's gonna be the same color?
This is, well, this is a silver, and then you get,
But does that have the EnviroBleach?
no, this is the window frame.
That's the trim.
Yeah,
Well,
the window
on
frame.
the sliders, it says here gray EnviroBleach.
Exterior
that's the
doors,
door.
sliders, and Marvin clad color anodized aluminum. That's what this is, anodized aluminum.
You're looking at window,
Window style.
and not the door, not the door.
Exterior door style.
Yeah.
Entry wood plank.
Yeah, the entry door, which you'll see in the middle picture on your page, that is all wood. That will have the EnviroBleach stain on it, but all the other windows and doors that are not
Got
wood
it.
are glass with a perimeter frame of clear anodized.
Got it.
That would be this, window styles? One. And two.
Shutter materials, there are none, so non-applicable. Garage door, we talked about that a little bit before. It's all going to be of the same cedar plank with the EnviroBleach stain. And as we go to some decking, it says epee. This is a sample of epee right here. It's an ironwood. It's the most dense wood you can use. It sinks, it doesn't float. Not the best piece that I've ever had, but if anyone's seen the beach clubs that are, dressed with epee, it goes to a really beautiful silver as well. It's going to be untreated, so again, it tries to silver out with the rest of the materials.
Usually darker, right?
It starts off this color,
Yeah.
and it winds up much lighter than this.
I have that.
Oh, you have that, okay. I have this too. It's a beautiful silver. I love the way it looks. It's good. And you can't get splinters from it, which is always a positive. If you do, then if someone told you you didn't have that. Okay, that's all my materials there. Fence material is wire mesh buried in hedge. The color of that is black. It's
All right,
meant to
let's-
disappear. Yep.
Just, let's stay on the house for a minute. Any questions from the board on the house material, the house colors?
Nope.
Okay, so we'll go to the site.
So let's, and also the renderings do show a good depiction of what the overall site is going to be like. Trying to, let me go through this a bit too. Trying to preserve, they have now four young children. And they really want to preserve as much grass area as possible for the four children. So the planting effort, the philosophy was, let's pay respect to what we have, lots of different, and I'll go through the schedule there, but lots of different evergreen and deciduous hedge, cedars, and tree line around the perimeter of the property, which you can also see on that first site context page that we looked at before we started looking at the renderings. But these renderings do sort of show what the overall look will be. So if we go to the site plan, everything in orange is the house. The pool is new, highlighted in blue, and that is the tree line around the perimeter. Now, most of that is already there, and if the board had a chance to go down to Seafield Point and take a look, again, you'll see a really nice
In there.
combination of evergreens and deciduous plantings and hedge. We are going to fill in areas where they're sort of a little barren or they haven't been really thriving well. But if you look at the schedule here, number one is bluestone pavers with paths. As you see, it's coming towards the front door. So a nice selection for stone that complements cedar aesthetic buildings is a blue stone. Number 2, you can see tall ornamental grasses, Nepeta and hydrangea, popular to the area of West Hampton Beach. And also there are species of hydrangea that can be somewhat deer-proof. So that's actually working towards our favor. And the Nepeta sort of makes the deer go away because it has that sort of nice, sort of minty smell to it. Catnip, Nepeta. There's lots of plants that do that. The more fragrant plants. 4, obviously the lawn. 5 being the pool. Lots of grass pavers throughout, enjoying the areas of grass in between moments of patio that grace the pool. 9, of course, the privet hedges that exist there currently. 10, the existing tree lines. And then 11 is just to highlight the idea that all of the fences around the pool are glass. Once again, bringing the greenery inside, one less thing to look through or another material to sort of obstruct your view. Nice bulky perimeter of evergreen and deciduous trees. I think this house is going to certainly be known from the street like most of the houses out there because it's such tight quarters. But enough privacy, I think that any neighboring property would be satisfied.
And where's the pool equipment gonna go? And the
It's a great
HVAC?
question. So if you look on this site plan right here and also in the surveys attached, there's a collection of 3 trees in the back of the house on the west, right there. That number is number 2. It's going right at number 2, and it's reflected by a pad.
Is it the left-hand drawing?
No, the left-hand drawing is the existing,
The right one, number 2, and that looks like in a V.
Yes, exactly.
Is that where it is?
Yeah, and if everybody looks at the proposed structure survey that's tied to the application, there's a note that says pool equipment. I can show it to the board right now. Let me just pull the survey up.
You're talking about the area that's number 2? It shows 3 plantings,
Yes.
okay, and you're saying that's gonna be the location for the pool equipment?
Yeah, our pool equipment is right there. There's on the proposed structure survey, there's a big note that says pool equipment proposed.
Right here.
Yeah.
That's pretty far away from the pool.
It's not that far away. It's a very, very small site. That's why we needed zoning board of appeals. It's smaller than you think.
Okay, and the AC equipment?
The AC equipment is right next to that as well. Also surrounded by evergreen boxwoods, cloud boxwoods. Again, we haven't bought them yet, so they may change their mind, but evergreen is the way to go for them.
Any showers or anything like that?
There's a proposed outdoor shower right to the north of that, which is also on the proposed structure survey that shows that right there. I can come by and reference it for everybody to see. Right above my fingertip, on the northwest side of the property, right there. It says proposed shower. It's hard to see, but it's on the survey as well, it says it. I might have it on an extra elevation too, let me just take a quick peek.
I don't think we have that drawing.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Oh, here it is. Let's all look at,
Oh.
of course, we have all floor plans and elevations here too. Let's take a look at this sheet right here, .5 drawing number, which is the first floor plan. Okay, and everyone will see it about 15 feet to the top of the car in the garage. You'll see the outdoor shower. Just north of the cars and the bikes.
Right.
And the bikes.
Yep, right here.
Okay.
There are the 3 bikes and right there, a little
Oh,
shower
there's
head.
this
Yeah.
car. I
Yeah.
was
Oh,
looking
no,
at this
that-
car.
sorry,
I'm like,
that car-
where
yeah,
is
the
it?
car in the garage, not the car in the street.
Okay.
Yes, sorry. And I also believe,
Bikes.
let's take a peek. That as well. Oh, and if anybody would like to see an elevation of the outdoor shower, they can just go to page .10 or .10 rather, which is the west elevation. And you can see that the outdoor shower is completely clad in the same material with the same EnviroBleach.
Oh, yeah.
Outdoor shower being on your bottom left-hand corner there.
In the
Yep,
middle.
there it is.
Got it.
I want to make sure the board doesn't have questions before I move on to any of the exterior elevations or floor plan questions.
Any questions, Peg?
On the driveway, can we talk about the driveway?
Sure.
Is there a gate that opens?
No
There's
gate on
there,
the driveway.
right? Okay.
No, there's a
existing
gate there
gate is
today.
Something there.
We're gonna say
Yeah.
goodbye to the existing gate for a
uh-huh,
couple of
okay.
reasons. So the property is quite small, relatively speaking, right? There's much smaller properties in the world, but in relation to homes of 5 to 6 bedrooms, this is a small property. And the driveway gate having to be 20 feet off the road creates a real, constraint on parking and the experience of coming into the house. So we were able to convince the clients, and I know there's a history on that driveway gate, to say goodbye to it. So there will be no driveway gate.
Okay. And the garbage bins that are associated with that gate are going
They're,
bye-bye?
they're gonna go bye-bye, yeah, exactly, yes. Yeah, They'll be stacked in the garage and brought out when it's time to pick
Technical
up.
term.
That's correct. Yes, I understand.
Any other questions?
I mean, there are floor plans, if anybody's interested in going through the notions of circulation and exterior elevations.
Just on the outside lights,
Say again?
the outside lights.
This, I believe I had, all complying with the 197-25.5 of the village codes, fixtures to be determined. We haven't selected the actual sconces by the,
I think the small ones. Look at this thing, this small one.
And the glass pool fence,
yes,
is it just around, and looking at just
yes.
just going around?
It's
the
just
pool?
going around there.
Okay, I mean,
All the other exterior railings are going to be cable railing with the epee cap to silver out as well.
okay.
It's an, agrarian modern aesthetic is not everybody's, listen, my firm, I think this board knows me well. I've been in front of you for 25 years. We do a lot of classic houses in West Hampton Beach, a lot of high contemporary, mixed bag of vocabulary. This is a bit, some people love it, some people don't, but it's a very quiet aesthetic when you think about the materiality. And luckily, there's no black windows attached to it, right? Okay.
Any other questions from the board? Good to go.
Good to go.
And deer fence, it's inside the bushes?
Inside the bushes, buried between the hedge.
They
I
go
think
all
I
the
have
way
that
around,
noted.
or is
They
it-
go all the way around after the entry of the driveway. The driveway gates now allow deer to come gracefully into the yard, so we have to start our deer fencing right when you start climbing up to the front of the house and finish off after the garage, which is okay because we've talked to the client about putting in nepeta and things that actually drive deer away as opposed to inviting them for
I'll
breakfast.
send my deer down to you. And the turkeys with it.
Trust me, I'm not gonna lie, it was a tough conversation between the notion of keeping the gate, which by the way, doesn't take care of the deer anyway, and also having better parking and an experience of the house. But I think we wound up on top there.
Okay, can we get a motion to approve this application?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Good
It's
luck.
good to
Nice
see you all.
see you.
Good to
Okay.
see you
Take
as well.
care.
Nice.
Nice evening.
You too.
Yes. Mikey?
Beats the turkey.
Can you pass this to Daniel?
Oh, there you go.
Okay, next we have the application for the Prime Storage. This is a planning board referral for Prime Storage, 98 Depot Road. The applicant requests a modification of site plan to add a third story and facade changes to the proposed self-storage building. Good evening.
Good evening. Joe Neitzel from JMN Architecture, architect for the applicant.
I'm sorry, just give me the name again.
Joe Neitzel, Neitzel.
Spell it again, I'm sorry.
Neitzel.
Okay, Joe, so if you could tell us about this application?
Sure. Previously, this application was approved as a two-story facility in front of the planning board and ultimately, I guess, architectural review board a few years back. Since then, by another architect I should make note of, since then, Prime has gone in a different direction on their branding of their facilities. And they brought us on to be more of a local presence for their architect. We're based on the island, as the prior architect, I think, was up in Massachusetts. So the directive given to us by Prime was design a building that looks residential in nature, that would fit in with the character of the surrounding neighborhood. So it doesn't look like a self-storage building, basically. They want it to look like an office building. They want this to be one of their premier trophy properties, I would say. They have this one and one in Bridgehampton we're working on as well, and they want these to be their two premier trophy New York properties. What we're proposing is, if I would run down the list, the checklist, we're proposing a three-story building, as I said. The third floor will be wrapped in a mansard roof construction. It'll be asphalt shingle. I have a sample of that here. It's a GAF product. And the intent with that was to try to make the building look and feel and present as if it's a two-story building instead of a tall three-story building. So three sides of the facade, the north, east, and south, will all be wrapped in that mansard with asphalt shingle roofing. Our trim will be, let's go to the siding, I guess. We have the two reverse gables on the east side of the building facing Depot Road. Those will be James Hardy shingle siding in aged pewter. That's the closest standard color to the brand standards for Prime. And with those, we're installing faux windows on the facade. Those are not opaque. They have no opacity. You can't see into the storage facility and see people storing their stuff. So it's a faux window. It's like a spandrel glass almost.
So is this going to be an office and storage units?
Correct. Yeah. So the intent is to remove that existing mobile trailer, replace it with this new three-story building. The sales office will be located in it, as well as additional storage. The primary material across the facade, as you can see from the rendering, is horizontal insulated metal panel in a tundra color. We've also incorporated some of those additional faux windows across the facade to give it some more depth and residential character. We do have an accent band of the brand's color, Harbor Blue. I have a sample as well that I could show the board. And at the base, we intend to do a split-face masonry block just for durability. With these storage facilities, people have, carts and couches. And the base, we want a rigorous product that, if somebody bumps into it with a cart or a couch, it doesn't damage it. So that's the intent with the 3.5-foot base stone veneer around the entire perimeter of the building. On the north and south elevations of the building, we also mimic those reverse gables with the James Hardy siding on both facades to kind of incorporate that same design, character, feel, and flair to the north and south elevation. The east elevation of the building facing the existing buildings in the rear is, more subdued. There's not really any architectural enhancements on that. Our thought was you're just looking at the back of the storage facility in that situation, so no need to spend an exorbitant amount of money on Overall, the building itself, we feel, will fit in nicely with the character of the neighborhood as to compared to, you know, a big box that you would see in a self-storage facility previously. So as far as our window styles, we spoke about that, you know, 6-panel and 8-panel windows with a anodized aluminum trim, similar to what the gentleman prior was just showing. We don't have any shutters. Our garage doors will be roll-up style doors at the rear only, nothing facing the street frontages north or south. Our perimeter base material would be that masonry as we spoke about earlier. We do intend to replace some of the fencing around the site to match the existing black estate fence on site. The 2 gates will remain, but there's some minor fencing removal and replacement as part of the construction.
Where's the
of it.
equipment gonna go? Light, heat, power?
All on the roof, protected by a parapet, not visible. It's up on the roof. There's a perimeter parapet on the building, so it'll be, with these self-storage facilities, you're not looking at big 10, 20-ton pack units on the roof. They're actually the residential split systems like you would see in a house, but there'll be 15 of them up there instead of, you know, 2 or 3.
And that'll be enclosed, so you won't be able to see it.
It'll be on the roof, but it'll be wrapped by a parapet. So the 3 sides of the building will have an elevated wall around the perimeter of the roof, a parapet which comes up above that roof line about 3 feet, so it'll all be protected.
And is the parapet higher than the top of any equipment?
Yes, significantly. I think the highest equipment we have is 2'6" or so off the roof, and then the parapet's almost 42 inches required by code.
And it sits on the mansard, it's not, it's on, the parapet's above.
Correct, yep. The roof line is 3 feet lower than the mansard. The mansard comes 3 feet higher than, 42 inches above the roof.
Where are you? See, I
Right,
think
so
it's-
it sets, it's recessed.
Correct, yep.
Yeah.
In order to see that equipment, you would basically have to be above that parapet line,
Got it.
looking down onto the roof. You're not gonna see it from the road, you're not gonna see it from the train or the south side.
So if you go
as
to
well.
This elevation, you'll be able to see.
A201, is it that white thing in the corner?
201.
Way across.
That's the elevator bulkhead, the over travel required for the elevator. It's got to come up a little higher than the roof line just for the required clearance. So that's what that white extension you
And
see
then on
there is.
200, is that the grate? You know, on that second picture on the bottom, you know, the one on the bottom there?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
South elevation,
On A200?
A200?
Same thing, that's the elevator bulkhead. That's not, yeah, that's not rooftop equipment or anything. It's all protected behind the roof line.
Now, you said that the windows were faux windows. Are any of the windows not faux windows?
Into the sales office only,
Yeah,
the 2,
so-
the ones on either side of the, so if you're looking at the front elevation, elevation 1 on A200, you have your door in the center on the right-hand side of that elevation.
Yeah, on 2 windows.
And the 2 windows immediately left and right will be,
There's only 2 windows
correct,
that are not faux windows.
correct. Everything else is faux.
And the lighting?
And where,
Yeah.
oh, I was just gonna ask. Lighting,
Go ahead.
that's
yeah,
okay.
please.
The outside lighting on each of the doors there? And,
We are not proposing a significant amount of architectural facade lighting. What we are proposing on C6 of the lighting plan is we'll have new parking lot pole-mounted light fixtures to illuminate the parking lot.
We're talking about the building.
building itself,
You're required to have lighting at each entrance, correct?
at the,
Yes,
at the
so
doors.
on the building, we're proposing 3 wall pack light fixtures. It's like a type C light fixture on that lighting plan. It's a full cutoff light fixture. It's not architectural in nature, it's more of a necessity, right, a code requirement. So it's a wall pack light that illuminates down. You can actually see it in the bottom left-hand corner of that C6 page. It's a wall-mounted fixture.
Bottom left of C6.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's like a standard fixture you would see in a commercial application.
All right, and you have a canopy
Correct.
on a describe that?
Sure. It protrudes off the building 2 foot 6 inches off the primary facade of the building. It has metal tiebacks, like a threaded rod, decorative tieback that secures the canopy to the building. It's mostly just for architectural ornamentation, as well as above the sales office. It's for protection for customers if they're coming in from the rain.
All right, so
No lighting in it, no nothing.
there are two on the west elevation only, the front,
Correct.
nowhere else.
Correct. And then one on the east over the sliding access door at the rear.
One on the east?
East side? Oh,
Oh, that's what that is, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I wondered what that was.
just to dress it up a bit?
That one, the reason for that is the client likes to have something to protect the sliding door if people are loading or unloading. The problem is we got to be 14 feet for truck clearance, so it kind of defeats the purpose of protecting for rain, but that's something they want, so.
Okay.
Yeah, ideally, if we could drop that down to, 10 feet or so, it would make sense to go through that door, but it's up so high, it really doesn't protect much.
All right, are there any other questions on the building itself?
Are these gutters that are in the kind of rust color here?
No, that's an architectural bracket, like a natural cedar or teak type bracket that the client has used in the past. Personally, I'm not a fan of them. I don't think it goes with the building. It was something that they wanted to try to incorporate their brand standard. When they go for these more residential style buildings, they like to incorporate a little bit of natural wood feature to it. And that was at their request.
Is this their actual color, do you
Yes.
feel?
Yeah, that's one of their brand colors.
Orangey, that kind of.
It's like a
Brown.
it's like a cedar. It's not, maybe the rendering doesn't depict it properly, but it's a natural cedar is what it is.
Okay.
Clear coated.
It'll be left to weather?
Yeah, it'll be clear coated when it's put up, and then in 3 years it'll gray.
Okay. Can we talk about the site, what's happening with the site and the landscaping?
Sure. So
Is
currently,
this building the same footprint as the trailer? Because you don't have an existing drawing here.
it's significantly larger. The length of the building,
Footprint,
the footprint, the length of the building, so north-south dimension, is about 6 feet longer than the current trailer.
okay?
Depth-wise, though, it's about
Wider.
triple the depth. So looking at it from Depot, it's going to grow, don't quote me, 3 feet south and like 3.5 or 4 feet north.
North and south is 6 foot
Yeah, correct.
compared to what's there now, and then it's going up.
Going up 3, and it's going deeper back into the existing site. So the front wall of the new proposed building is also about 5 feet closer to Depot than the current trailer is. So we're really using that rear space on the site to make up the difference for the overall size, and obviously the height, right? So we're growing in size with that.
where are you with the planning board with this now?
We've been to the planning board twice. They did not like our first design. We came back with this design. They were in favor of it. They've determined that we don't need to go to another public hearing because, in their opinion, the site plan itself is minor in nature for the amendment. And as I left off at the last meeting, they said, come to ARB. Let's see what your result is there. And then if there's no issues, we plan to approve at the next planning board meeting. We've also went back to Health Department, got that updated approval. We're just working on some covenants and restrictions right now.
All right, can we talk about the landscaping?
Sure. So currently, the site is pretty well landscaped along the perimeter property lines. On your north, you have the existing maple trees. Along Depot, you have the existing blue spruces, and then same thing along the south, you have those existing maple trees. No intention to touch any of those. Those are all going to remain. We also have a few existing sycamores in that, I'm going to call it the island where the trailer is now.
North and south of the trailer, right?
Correct. Yep, those are existing to remain. And then the intent is to plant all new plantings along the front facade of this building, ranging from inkberries to dogwoods to, what else do we have on here as well? Some hydrangeas, right? So the intent is to plant those with flowering seasonal plants, as well as to the north, we'll have a bit of grass and landscaping, grassed area there to the east of the landscaping between Depot. And no proposed additional landscaping at the rear of the facility. So everything is going to basically remain forward of that existing fence line that you see. As for fencing, like I said, those 2 gates will remain, and we're just going to replace some of that fence that's taken out with new.
And the driveway is gonna stay the same? The
All
parking?
resurfaced. That whole front area is going to get repaved. We're actually reducing the size of the parking lot in the front. So what we did at the north side, if you see that handicap stall on the site plan, currently the parking lot goes 3 or 4 more stalls to the north, closer to the train station. The intent is to remove those and landscape that area. These self-storage facilities need very minimal parking, and I thought that was a good recommendation from the planning board initially to put some more green space back in the front there. So that's the
I'm
intent.
sure the Jitney people are not gonna be happy with that, but
Yeah, so we're actually decreasing the amount of impervious surface.
sorry?
What is this?
Those are the units, those number 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Those are the
Number
buildings
4.
on the east side of that plan there that you're looking at. Those are the existing buildings behind that are existing to remain.
Did you say you brought the blue?
I did. Here you go. I have a sample of the roof.
curious.
It's just a standard
Yeah.
GAF.
Yeah.
Right.
That is the closest color that I have to the hardy siding color. That color is the blue. the
When you
light-
say that, it's a gray, you're showing us a gray.
Charcoal gray. Yep, the
Right.
charcoal gray color here resembles closest to the aged pewter for the James Hardy siding. The harbor blue is that accent, that band that you see across the top of the building. And the tundra color is the primary color on the facade, that light gray, I'll call it.
Yeah, so it's across the top here. Right. Nice.
That's all right.
You good with it? You good?
Good.
Peggy, you good?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'll write up a report to the planning board.
Thank you.
You too.
Good night now.
Good night.
Thanks.
Joe, just to make sure I have your last name,
Here it is.
Neitzel.
Yep, I'll give you a card if you'd like as
Great.
well.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Have a great night.
You too.
You too.
All righty. What do you have for us?
I have a lot more information this time.
I'm sorry?
I said I have a lot more information this time, so I think.
All right, you're not on the agenda, so we're just gonna give you the courtesy of,
Oh, I appreciate that.
I'm sorry?
Holdover?
Well,
Brad sent an updated, I think.
I did
Okay.
call to confirm yesterday about it.
We
I
found
have a
out
copy of
yesterday,
the
so
site
it's
plan.
really,
We talked about last
no,
time.
I'm not saying your fault. I'm just saying we just, we're not good.
I can come back to the next meeting if it's not convenient.
well, tell us basically what you're,
So I do have printouts for each of you with all of the information. I have designs for each of the unit signage, as well as the site plan. I have physical material of the signs. They're in order, so the first one is gonna be discussing the entry sign with all of the names. And then from there, it's units 1 through 14, individually designed. Sorry, there you go. So just to review, it's for Sexton Commons. Peggy, I don't think you were here last time, so it was a new master sign plan on Main Street. We're redoing all of the signs. The old design, I'm sure you're familiar, is the old green with the gold lettering. The clients, they're each individually owned, and so they just wanted a more modern look. And also, there's a lot of different signs going on right now, so they kind of want to reel it in so that everyone has that uniform look and style. So all of the signs are going to be a 3/4 inch PVC. Really simple. They're going to be vinyl faced, nice and easy, rectangular, and all have a 1/2 inch outline of black. So most of them are in the same style font. Some of the owners did request to have their logo. So again, all in the same color palette of that black and white and that maroon. But let's start with the entry sign there. So that's going to be a 1 inch PVC. Is that second page, excuse me. The Sexton Commons and the 132 Main Street on the bottom is going to be carved out and routed and then hand painted. We have that maroon accent again and the black and white, so staying consistent there. Then each of the boards will be mounted on with each of the units' names. Those are going to be 18 inches by 4 inches, and they'll be vinyl face lettered. They're going to have a bevel around the edge, along with that border of black. And if anyone has any questions on that before I move on.
Just a question about the accent color.
Yeah, sure.
So it seems like some of them elected to put an accent color and others did not.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
It's correct, yes.
Okay.
And also you'll see as you go through, some of the signs, there wasn't really a place for it. Some of the applicants did not have a logo per se, so I just filled that in with the Times New Roman, really clean font. And it didn't feel appropriate to throw in that maroon. It would be a little bit overpowering.
How many of the units are occupied?
13 of them. There's only, I think it's unit 3 is the only one that currently doesn't have.
So there are 14 units? 13 are occupied,
Correct.
and 13 have agreed?
Yes. Yeah, I have all of the owners. It's been fun arranging 14 different people, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Village Graphics will have 2.
Yes, so they have frontage because they're on the greater frontage. They're on the corner there. I think there was only 3 signs. I tried to keep them in the same size if I could. Village Graphics is the same size. They have 2. Hobbs is a little bigger because he's a double unit up there, right at the, he's got the corner going on. So he's bigger. And then on the front, it was Diana's Boutique. That one's a little bit smaller just because I couldn't fit 60 inches where it would, be centered. And then White's as well. He owns 3 units there, 6, 8, and 9. So he requests to have 3 signs.
All right, I'd like to take this package and go
Yeah,
down
I
there.
just have a quick question. What happens when there's a turnover? Like, let's say this Dayglow becomes
Oh.
something else?
Yeah,
does that
so
work?
when they get a new tenant in, we would come before you again with the new logo design. It would be in the same style, same border, material, everything, but it would just be a new design with their name, and we would have to get approval before putting that up.
And the same location.
Same
Same
location, yes.
location of
Yeah.
where it is now, okay.
Maybe we should take a look
I want
at
to
it.
go down there with this package and.
Yeah, that's, and look at the property. I agree.
Anything else you have for us?
I have the site plan if you want to take that with you. It's a copy, it's not the original,
Okay.
but it might be helpful for you while you're down there. My information was on the first packet I submitted as well, so if you guys want to meet me at any point, if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. I live in West Hampton myself, so it's never far.
Are the locations of the signs the same as these drawings?
Yes, most of them are exactly the same as those,
Most of
yeah.
them.
I believe the only one that's different is this Sexton's here. It's gonna be there in that location, but instead of being Sexton sign, it's gonna be Village Graphics.
It's going to be what?
Village Graphics, he's the unit in there. I try to keep everything as consistent with the original plan, since it was well done.
And where is the second? If you could just-
The elevation is, if you unroll it more, there should be the second elevation on the front.
This one here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, if I can hang on to this.
Where's Martin Melza?
He's right up on the
How-
corner. Yeah, he's
How is
unit
that? Is it
14.
hanging down?
Yeah, so that mock-up was a little bit, it's
Oh,
hard to see.
okay.
But he's gonna be in that corner there, hanging from eye hooks. And he's a little smaller as well, because I couldn't fit 60 inches there.
So all of the others are gonna be this level, and then his is up because it's on the second
He's
floor?
on second floor, exactly, yeah.
And Hob.
Hobbs is also,
Hobbs
yeah, I think
is
there's
on-
about
Yep.
4 units. Unit 10 through 14 are all on the second floor, so those should all be
Ah,
hanging,
okay.
yeah.
Elderco looks like it's
Elderco.
not.
Oh,
hanging.
Elderco is not hanging. They're second floor, but they had a space. Most of the other locations,
Did
if you
not
put
have a
them, you can't see
space.
them from the parking lot if they're on the wall. So Elderco you could, which is why it's not hanging. But the remainder are on the second floor.
Okay. Any other questions?
Take a look at it.
All right, thanks for giving us.
Better
these
than last time,
packages.
right?
Yeah,
You've come a long
Appreciate your
way.
patience. Yeah,
excellent
Not an
job.
architect
Sounds
here.
good.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Have a
Okay.
good
Thank
night.
you.
Thanks.
Thank
Send
you.
me all this stuff digitally. Thank you.
Okay, can we get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second it.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.